Hi, this is Julie at Love's Beginning with a message called Stepping Out of Time. The blazing sun is always present. The bright light of truth is always present. It never deserts you or anyone. If you ever feel any disquiet or uncertainty, you are looking away from this light, trying to make sense of shadows moving in the darkness. When you feel fear, it is terror about this light ripping the world you know away from you. Fear seems to come in many forms, and you see that fear filtered and translated into statements about time and space. What if the fear isn't about time and space? What if the time and space costuming is just there to cloak the true nature of the fear? You only fear the light. The light is that which is genuinely helpful. Awakening is about understanding what is truly helpful. It is good to rely upon what is reliable. The light never flickers or leaves. There is nothing that can damage it or threaten it because there is nothing outside of it. The character in this drama that you are watching and experiencing, the one you call yourself, this character seems to do many things. It seems to think, to move, to speak. You are in charge of what powers the character. Any sense of disquiet simply means that you get the chance to choose again. I choose light. I allow the light to provide every thought, word, and motion for this character. Notice that the sense of a separate, independent character choosing separate things for itself is gone. Only the one choice is necessary, and then everything else follows. It may seem that you have to choose the light over and over and over again. Be patient. You have chosen darkness over and over and over again, too. You were never wrong for doing this, only confused. You have never harmed anyone in your choice for darkness. You have only experienced a nightmare in which harm and harming seemed possible. Films sometimes include a statement, "No animals were harmed during the making of this film." Well, no animals were harmed during the making of this film either. That's a pretty bold statement to put next to World War I or many other perceived past events. But if illusory experience is not real, and there are no separate entities, then no entities were harmed. The perception of time and space offers a hiding place from the light. When you believe you are confined within time and space as a separate entity, you believe that you begin and end. You believe that there are other separate ones who begin and end. You believe that you can be harmed. You believe that you can harm. You are now willing to have these foundational time and space beliefs swept away, and you can see that as you allow this, you remain as unharmed as you have always been. This is the basis of forgiveness, seeing the impossibility of all of the illusory experiences that seem to have happened. You can always speak as the light to the light. You are the light, and so are all beings across time and space equally. Before this light, everything in a perceived past falls away. Everything in an anticipated future falls away. All of the separate qualities that ego has assigned to the various beings, some better qualities than others, some worse qualities than others, all of these fall away. Now meet every one who seems to be separate. What do you need to meet this one other than now? Meet them in thought. Meet them in thought made physical, and rejoice in their perfection in the swept clean now. Now we invite you to see the message in Step in Time. So there's another song, this one from Mary Poppins, and I will include the link. If you look at the story of your character's life, at the story of many characters' lives, they seem to have been admonished from the outside. Step in time. Come on now, you're 5 years old, do this. Okay, now you're 10, do that. Now you're 15, and you're not doing this along with everyone else? Unthinkable. Step in time. So the characters mainly stepped in time. Even when they deviated, and even when they made a big point of deviating, they still did much stepping in time. Now you're being invited to step out of time. You're being invited to recognize that the true address of all of the beings is out of time. Where else can you join them except out of time? And yet, here is a body. You still seem to be in time. As long as you seem to be showing up as a body, you are invited to step in time with Spirit. Spirit will call out with the next part of the dance, and you follow. At first it seems as if you are alone, following Spirit's commands, not recognizing that you are Spirit. And then you feel the dance. You feel the joy of harmonious movement with your fellow dancers, and it is a joy to step in unison with the light of Spirit. When we come to you with the bones of these messages, you seem to be in a vulnerable state, in the shower. And this is a note for me. This is true, if you're not familiar with my process. The first place I heard the voice, not my own, very clearly, as a voice that wanted to help me understand something important, I was in the shower. The shower is kind of like a sensory deprivation tank for me, where I feel that I can tune in and listen. This is where I receive several statements representing the basic idea of the message. Later on, I go back and develop it. It's easy to tune in, and the voice of my friends comes right back. I feel as if I am only the typist. I don't have to write anything in the sense of creating it. I only have to listen. So yeah, the beginning of each message happens in the shower, with me typing in Google Keep on my cell phone. Back to the message. Note the value of this kind of vulnerability, this openness. Ego would tell you that vulnerability is a lack of defenses, and the solution to vulnerability is building defenses. We tell you that vulnerability is openness to what truly is, and that vulnerability in the sense that ego means it doesn't even exist. You can make an illusion of being undefended and therefore harmed, but you can also see through the whole notion of defense. We invite you to step back from defense, which is stepping in time with the ego. Instead, you can rest in openness, which is stepping out of time for an instant, seeing that all is joined, and then allowing your experience to be one of stepping in time to the dance that Spirit leads. When you remain in this state of seeming vulnerability, which is really openness, very specific and helpful information can come to you. What comes to you in this state is easy to carry out. In a state of defenselessness, nothing arises to contradict Spirit's instructions, because only a defense could block the light. Remember this, when the urge to defend or struggle arises. This is how I block the light. When you see how you do this with thought, you can stop accepting thoughts that block light. We remain an open book to you, and we thank you for opening to us. Thanks for listening.